Hello and welcome to our special segment on IT security. I'm joined today by Phil Grosch, and Phil is our national technology leader in our consulting practice. Now Phil, you spend a lot of time with CIOs, and the question I have for you today is, if you were a board member working for one of our clients and you had a chance to talk to the CIO one-on-one, what kind of questions would you ask the CIO?
Neil, I think that's a very pertinent and timely question. Clearly what we see with the role of cloud, mobile, social and big data is it's fundamentally changing the way that organizations can actually consume technology. So the important element around it is for the CIO to actually have a clear handle on what pieces they're actually looking at to move into the cloud to external providers, so that you've got a good handle on what the components are and then how you're going to actually manage the integration so that you deliver a seamless experience to your users as well as to your customers. And then obviously the concern that a lot of organizations have is, what does that do from a data privacy security implication? So the best way to handle that is to have an overall plan where you've got an understanding and a perspective on which pieces of your organization can actually be moved to the cloud, which pieces you're not comfortable with moving to the cloud, and communicate that across all the different business areas.
As business is changing so fast, how do you advise businesses? How do they manage IT risks, and how should they be making different decisions about where they put their IT spend?
So what we have started to see is a very interesting shift in terms of the decision makers in IT decisions. So in the traditional world, a significant portion of IT was traditionally managed and decided by the CIO and the CIO function. Today, as cloud is really starting to become a core way of consuming technology, what we're starting to see is line of business owners are starting to play a much more active role in either having a strong voice at the table in making the decision, or in a lot of situations actually making the decision. And it's interesting that when you look at it, it's the predictions are that probably the most powerful technology buyer in the future is actually going to be the chief marketing officer. So as you think about that, the importance of having a real functional collaboration between the CIO and the line of business leaders becomes even more critical, because in one hand, it's great that a business area can go out and gain access to functionality that they need in order to deliver on what their specific mandate is. But on that same side, the role of the CIO is to integrate all of these capabilities, maintain control so that security and risk doesn't become an issue. We actually recently published a white paper that really showed the difference between organizations that have strong collaboration between their core business functions, including the CIO, and how successful they are. So that is called Digital IQ. And it's available on the PwC website.
It's fascinating. And so based on that, Phil, the role of a CIO in the future is radically different than maybe, let's say, 5–10 years ago?
Yes, I think the role of the CIO starts to become one of a business integrator. So managing and understanding the complexity of this new world that we're living in. How do you integrate it with the reality of your legacy, and making sure that you have close alignment with the business areas so that you get that true capability to understand what the business needs and deliver it in a fashion that provides that seamless experience, internal, external, in a safe and risk-based fashion.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Phil. Very good insight, and thank you for joining us today.